What's up, world? Welcome to another episode, a long overdue episode of this show about Let Nothing, More About Nothing, episode 44. We taxpayers at AARP in these streets. And look who's back. Look who's back. He was out the mix. He was making $1 million moves.
I wouldn't even say milk.
Tell him what before we get into the swing of things, tell him why we wasn't here. Tell him what you did while we wasn't in the mix.
What I did or what I didn't do.
What you didn't do.
Long story short, company I worked for, they had a pretty big project, and we got a week into it. It was supposed to be 3 weeks long. Matter of fact, today would have been my second day on the last week at the project, but due to unforeseen circumstances, and by unforeseen I mean managerial circumstances that is not on our side, the job is canceled.
So
okay, so just to give you a gist of what happened, we were working at a resort. Won't say who. We're working at a resort.
Okay.
Well-known, 5-star beach resort.
Okay.
And we were tasked with replacing TVs in every single room in the resort on the campus. And the campus is 6 buildings in total.
Okay.
So in each room, you have 2 bedrooms and 1 living room. So in the bedrooms, you have these 40-inch TVs, and in the living room, you have a 55-inch. Our job was to come in and take out the 40-inch TVs and replace those TVs with 55-inch TVs.
Okay.
And then in the living room, take the 55-inch TV out and replace it with a 65-inch TV.
Okay.
What happened is we got a week into the job, knocked out 2 buildings. So about like 80-something TVs, right? 81, I believe it was. We come back the next week. We're unloading trucks of shipments of TVs so that we can, move them to the hotels that we're going to be working in and, doing all the work. We unload one truck, we're cleaning up, and we're getting ready to unload the rest of the second truck, or we got people working on it or whatever. And then I overhear a conversation from our team lead talking about, I might let the guys go early to lunch because yada, yada, yada. And I kind of tell them, hey, guys, keep an eye out. We might be going to lunch early or whatever. And they're like, oh, word? I'm like, yeah. Sure enough, we get told we're going to be going to lunch early. And then we also get told we are on standby until further notice. The reason being the GM came in the weekend after the first week we worked. So he came in the weekend after we did our job, right?
Okay.
Observed and did a whole bunch of looking around, and supposedly started making changes to the whole ordeal and how we were operating.
Right.
To the point where now they're having to reassess how they want to move and the cost of what it's going to be to have us come back out there and pretty much complete the job that they ordered.
Right.
So as of right now, we are going back on our regular schedule, and until we hear otherwise about like what the job is going to look like from this point forward, there is no $1 million moves being made right now. Now, I'm not saying that there won't be, it's just not right now.
Okay. I feel you. Like I say, man. Hey, so y'all was all the way. So you went out there every day for nothing.
No. So we were going back and forth. The first week we worked. We went back there. We went going back and forth over there, and it was a job. Like, we got into our groove. We knew what we were doing. We knew exactly the process. We knew exactly what we can get done. And like I said, we knocked out 2 buildings on the campus in a week. And if we kept the pace that we were going in, plus we had additional teams coming in, we could have ran that entire operation smooth. But
right.
Things happened, and manager decided to call an audible, and like I said, until they figure out what they want to do and how they want to move about it, like for us, is just we really can't do much right now. So we're just gonna go back to our regular schedule, go back to regular work, and then I guess we'll hear otherwise as to like what we're gonna be doing moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is what it is. So nothing too crazy, but it was annoying to say the least because
It was. Sound real tedious if you ask me. Like, nigga, come on.
it was tedious. It was the same thing over and over again. But the one thing that really, 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 really annoyed me and was my main complaint was the fact that there was no communication whatsoever. That was like the main thing that really, really got me was like the communication was non-existent, and it's not on us. Okay,
Yeah.
we were there to do the job. Contractually, we were there to do the job. The communication didn't come from their side, and it was between their manager and the team that was leading the team that was helping us out with leading us around the facility, chaperoning us, make sure we're able to get in the rooms and get out of the rooms. And this is when we have clientele in the rooms and yada yada yada. So like it was just communication could have been better in my case. But then again though, like that's all I can that's all I can go on. So again, the $1 million money moves will be made, just not right now.
I feel you, man. Like with me, my week was pretty decent. Worked on some projects with my boy Galaxy. We got some stuff. Some stuff. Just know that some stuff is coming. Like if y'all been paying attention to my Instagram, y'all seen some pictures pop up.
My boy, he cooking in the kitchen. Y'all better be ready.
I'm saying some stuff. There's something that goes along with those pictures that y'all saw. So it's like some stuff coming up. You know what I mean? Some epic stuff like just to be back in the groove of doing this again. What we got going on with the said visuals moving forward with the music. You can take that information with how y'all want to take it. Yeah, we back. I'm back in the groove, and it's cool to be back in the mix with the people that you want to be back in the mix with, visually and musically. Like it's dope. So it's everything. Like it's gonna be. We cooking in the kitchen, man. We cooking in the kitchen, man. Like I relate to making a good gumbo. Like you got to have a good roux before you start going. It takes time to get that roux going, baby. It take a while. You stirring that roux for like a good 30, 40 minutes to get it right. Then you got to throw the veggies in there. You got to get everything. It's cooking. We coming along with it, man. Coming along with it. But other than that, man, we had a little back and forth before the camera cut on, man. You say one team won the draft. I say one team won the draft.
Not the draft, free agency. The draft,
same thing. Pretty much same thing. Same difference, different name. I mean, I see where you coming from with your pick, though. They did do good. I ain't gonna lie, they did good.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to do, like,
we gotta say financially, my side won that joint. Financially,
did they though?
Did we not?
Did you though?
Howie Roseman, Houdini, the mastermind, the man that gets it done. He goes out and fixes what needs to be fixed.
What did he fix? Let's talk about it. Okay, so NFL free agency kicked off.
And boy, did it kick off.
Boy, okay, so let's go ahead and just jump into it like a quick recap. So Saturday night, before free agency even begins, the weekend before free agency, Tampa Bay Buccaneers re-signed Mike Evans to a 2-year, $52 million deal. Sunday, Russell Wilson, who's going to be getting paid about $38 million from the Denver Broncos,
which is insane.
It agrees to terms on a 1-year veteran minimum deal to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. And then a few other moves were made. Joe Mixon for the Cincinnati Bengals about to get released, and then he gets traded to Houston. And then Baker Mayfield, he gets re-signed to a 3-year, $100 million deal with $50 million guaranteed. Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles, they make a move.
Talk about a steal. I didn't see that coming.
We knew that he was going to be going. let's keep it a buck. We knew that Saquon Barkley was going to be going to the Eagles. I mean, like they were teasing it for the longest time. We kind of had a feeling that this was going to play out.
Let me tell you, because like I said, again, I'm in the Eagles group page on Facebook. Like people, like they was really like, no, we want DeAndre Swift. We want Swift. Keep him. Them like nobody wants Saquon. Then we got Saquon. Like, and people, and the thing about Saquon, people like, yo, he stayed injured. He was all right. Y'all said the same thing about Swift last year. And he stayed healthy the whole season. Now, I look at it like it's like it's gonna be insane. Like I don't think Jalen will have to run as much as he did before with Saquon. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like, oh dang, this dude does run, don't he? Kind of forget. Oh, it's gonna be oh damn, he is third and it's like his third down. I need to get this first. Okay, now this dude bolts off. Okay, we got it. Yeah,
but here's the kicker. But here's the thing though, like y'all have one of the best run games because y'all have one of the best offensive lines in the game. Unfortunately, though, you lost one of the biggest pieces to the offensive line in Jason Kelce. He announced his retirement.
Like, I think he's gonna be all right.
Like, how do the Philadelphia Eagles? How do they plug that hole, that massive hole that Jason Kelce has left now that he's officially retired? Like, what do? Do you look in free agency and draft a replacement, or do you?
We got a good center. We got a good replacement center. He ain't Kelce. I forget the dude's name. He ain't Kelce. By no means, nobody can beat Jason Kelce. But you know when you sitting behind this dude and watching him do his thing, like, of course Kelce called him out. He was like, yo, man, the keys are yours now. Don't make me look bad. It's like, all right. It's like, you know what, I know the pressure of him leaving. It ain't like when Fletcher Cox left. You got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Phillip. Like, yo, we good. Like, yo, we've been waiting for them dudes to eat. Kobe, we good. I feel like he probably gonna have some hiccups in the beginning. He probably gonna start off a little sketchy, I think he good. I'm not too concerned just yet. I'm more concerned about Saquon, how he gonna hold up, because like he ain't like he was in the New York Giants. He was a Giant. That's all they had was him. So it's like of course you're gonna get injured when you're the only player on the field. Like, that. So it's like we gonna see. And he can catch the ball too. So and like, hey, what more can we ask for? But you say, let's move. Let's get from Philly. Like that's let's move from Philly. Houston. Let's talk about it. I mean,
this is the only time I will throw the horns up.
I mean, you should feel. Hey man, you already know what it is. You already know what time it is.
Don't start.
You already know what time it is. You know what time it is.
Hush.
Embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace it.
Hush. I no longer have that tie around my finger. I don't have that. I don't have that on me.
Embrace it. Embrace it. But yo, Houston, I mean, Houston
got busy. Let's go ahead and call it a buck. Let's go and keep it a buck right now. Houston Texans, to me,
they hit the re-up button.
Boy, they in my eyes, Houston Texans won the draft. They won the free agency. There's another team that I look at and I'm like, it could sneak in, maybe, but I mean, look, and I'm looking at the power ranking right now for Houston. Right, they're right now pre-draft. They're number 7 in the power rankings. They added Joe Mixon via trade from the Cincinnati Bengals, a man who in 661 snaps, carries, and all that stuff, he's only fumbled the balls a total of 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 6 of 7 seasons, he has over 1,200 plus scrimmage yards. Run, like that's rushing and receiving from the back. Over 1,200 receiving and rushing yards combined. And he's done that 5 or 6 of his last 7 seasons.
Right.
Only 1 to 3 guys to do that.
Who?
And then,
huh? Say that last part again.
Oh, I said that Joe Mixon is only 1 of 3 people to have that type of production.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill and Alvin Kamara are the other 2.
All right.
And then let's not talk about just the offense. Let's just talk about that one little piece. Let's not just talk about that. They re-signed Dalton Schultz. They keep Dalton Schultz. And then on the defensive side, Danielle Hunter? Danielle Hunter. You add him to the mix to a already stingy defensive line.
Look here. I'm going to pause that. Based off what Houston did last season, I didn't see that coming. We sat here, go back, and I don't even know what episode it was. We talked about Houston. We didn't see this coming start of the year. I didn't see CJ Stroud. This man pulled a Aaron Rodgers, Brady-esque comeback, like
twice
as a rookie.
Twice.
I'm talking about that first one.
Oh, yeah.
That first one.
I'm not gonna lie, that was hella impressive, but I was also kind of sad at the same time too, because like, I follow the boy Baker Mayfield, and I was rooting for him, and like that was the game where I felt like he finally, as well as the Tampa offense, they finally figured out what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
and you see Baker Mayfield lead this comeback drive. They have 46 seconds left on the clock, and I'm just like, they gonna break this slide, and then you see CJ Stroud just reach deep down in the bag, and he just like unlocks this different level.
He did his best Aaron Rodgers impression
ever. I watched the comeback live. I watched it happen live as it played out. I was more annoyed. I was annoyed at the defense for letting it happen, but I was impressed at the same time too with CJ Stroud, because what he was capable of, what he did, how he managed that. And mind you, this was 46 seconds left on the clock. He did this in under 40 from the 25-yard line on his side.
You know what's scary about that? Go ahead, bud. I'm gonna tell you what's scary, but go ahead.
I'm just like, from the 25-yard line on his side to it was like a 8-yard, 10-yard touchdown pass to Tank Dell to end it with 6 seconds left.
Now, did the Tampa have any timeouts at that time?
I don't remember.
Because I'm gonna say this. This would be a different conversation if they went down there and scored, and somehow Baker Mayfield came back and won that game in 6 seconds with only one timeout with 6 seconds. Like, nigga, you are amazing, Baker Mayfield. I take back every bad thing I said about you if you would have won that damn game. But let's go back. CJ Stroud. The scary thing about CJ Stroud right now, and he did it twice as a rookie. The scary thing about that.
He did it to Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. And then he goes to Cincinnati.
How much time was on the clock during that win?
I think it was like, I want to say it was about the same or like a little bit more. I was like maybe a minute or so.
If it was 40 seconds on the clock and he did that, the terrifying thing is this. It's going to get worse. If he can do that with 40 seconds on the clock in the game on the line, imagine what he can do with 20. And all he needs is a field goal to win. Think about, I go back to that game in Dallas with Aaron Rodgers. He had one timeout. All he needed was a field goal to win. And this is Aaron Rodgers. He does it to Dallas every time he can. He does it every time, so it was no surprise. But imagine CJ Stroud with just all they need a few seconds, and he could get down that field and win the game.
He got Nico Collins Noah Brown, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, and now Joe Mixon.
It's and you say he got a stingy defense. Ain't no telling what he gonna get in the draft. Ain't no telling what they gonna get in the draft.
They still got 2 first-round picks to play with.
Baby, all I'm saying is what they gonna do in the draft.
Bro, I'm gonna say this right now because I was.
Think about it before you say it.
I'm gonna say no. I don't even think about it. Like
think about what I just said. What they gonna get in the draft?
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm also gonna say this. Think about how they got to this point.
How they get there? Talk to me, because I didn't forget.
Oh, I know you ain't forgot, but I'm gonna just go ahead. Think about who they think about who they traded with and what they got in return.
Talk to them.
Like, Cleveland set them up for success, literally, because they wanted a quick, like, how did you say it? And we're going to talk about this, but I'm going to use your analogy. They try to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound with.
Talk to me.
They tried to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound when Cleveland traded for Deshaun Watson. In the 2 seasons, and I'm about to go on a tangent here, so please just let me cook.
You got it.
In the 2 seasons that Deshaun Watson has been with the Cleveland Browns, can I bring up the stat line for you?
Dude, I know you want to do it. Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, hold on for a second. In the 2 seasons that Deshaun Watson has played with Cleveland, he's only played a total of 12 games. The first year he was suspended 11 games. I'll give you that. The second one, he was injured. He missed the majority of the season. So he's only played 12 games total. In those 12 games, he has a 14 touchdown to 9 interception ratio, which is not bad.
Nope.
He's only thrown for 2,100 yards passing. He has a 59.8 completion percentage, an 81.7 rating, and a 41.7 QBR. When Cleveland fans found out that Deshaun Watson was going to be going to the Browns, all because of let's not forget, he told the Browns they were out of the running. They tried to double back and go after Baker Mayfield, and he told them to kick rocks. He wants out. So they went back to Deshaun, and they were like, hey, look, the guy that we can't go back to the guy that, that we chose, that we can't go back to him because he don't want to do it. So, like, we'll just pay you whatever you want. They paid him $230 million fully guaranteed. He was like, I'm going to go to Cleveland. And he has not produced up to that point. And, like, they gave up 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. Like, hold on for a second. I got to do this, if you don't mind.
Do you think? While you do it, I'm going to talk for a little bit.
No, because I just want to rehash where we're going to rehash why Houston is where they are right now.
I feel like with this, I'm looking at not Houston. I'm looking at, now I take back everything I said about the Panthers. Cause I know the Panthers looking at CJ Stroud like, gosh, damn it. But then again,
bro, here's the bad part about it. Everybody in the building wanted CJ Stroud. But it was the owner that overrode it.
But look, I put it like this. I don't think CJ Stroud would have did this.
No, he wouldn't.
In Carolina. I'm sorry. I don't think Bryce Young could do what CJ did.
I would say this. If the owner didn't override and allowed Coach Reich and company to do what they wanted to do, then maybe we would have seen some semblance. We would have seen the Carolina Panthers have some success. They could have. A lot of the games that they lost were close. But I will say this though. CJ Stroud was just it was a bad situation because I don't think the manager, I don't think the owner and the GM and the coach all saw eye to eye. But I just want to jump into this.
Talk to me.
remember how I said the trade package, the Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans trade or whatever. This is what the Browns gave up. They gave up first round picks in the 2022, 2023, and 2024 NFL draft, as well as a fourth rounder in 2022 and 2024, and a third rounder in 2023. And like, I want to see, like, Houston, they cooked entirely with all of those picks. They really did. They really, really did. Now let me go back to the free agency moves that they made. Let me go back to the free agency moves they made. Dalton Schultz. They signed him to a 3-year, $36 million deal with $23.5 guaranteed. They re-signed their kicker, Kiami Fairbairn, 3 years, $15.9 mil. They re-signed Desmond King, cornerback, 1 year, $1.8 mil. They signed defensive tackle Khalil Davis to a 1-year deal. They re-signed Eric Murray, their safety, to a 1-year, $1.75 million deal. Cornerback Chris Boyd, a 1-year deal. They signed from the Jacksonville Jaguars, defensive tackle Foley Fudukasi to a 1-year deal.
That's a name right there.
They re-signed defensive backs and special teamer Lonnie Johnson to a 1-year, $2 million deal. They bring in from the Atlanta Falcons former Detroit Lion star all-pro corner Jeff Okudah.
Wait, Houston got Jeff Okudah?
Jeff Okudah signed with the Houston Texans.
That Jeff Okudah?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
1 year, $4.5 million. Danico Autry, defensive tackle from the Tennessee Titans. 2 years, $20 million guaranteed. 2 years, $20 million with $10.5 guaranteed. Cornerback Mike Ford from the Cleveland Browns, 2 years, $4.5 million. Linebacker from the I keep seeing the pictures with the old Houston Oilers logos, but it's Tennessee. Linebacker from Tennessee, Azeez Al-Shaair, 3 years, 30.
That real quick. Somebody said Tennessee shouldn't be able to use that
logo.
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to use it, which makes perfect sense because
it does make sense. Yeah, it does. But we're not going to get into that.
But go ahead.
But Azeez Al-Shaair, stud linebacker, one of the top stars on the defensive side for Tennessee, he goes to Houston on a 3-year, $34 million deal. Punter Tommy Townsend from the Kansas City Chiefs, 2 years, $6 million. Wide receiver Noah Brown signs a 1-year, $5 million deal. Linebacker, special teamer Delshon Phillips from the Buffalo Bills, he signed with the team. Defensive tackle Tim Settle Jr., 2 years, $7 million. But the big one that they did not talk about in this little post right here was Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter was, here it is. Yep. Danielle Hunter. Fully guaranteed with a $48 million deal for 2 years.
They believe in him.
So
2 years?
2 years.
Better do something.
So, like I said, when I look at the Houston Texans and I look at all the signings that they have made and everything that they've done thus far, I'm looking at a team that overachieved in their first year with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. And they are loading up. And a lot of people are saying this on social media. A lot of people are believing that the Houston Texans are loading up to possibly pull off a 2021 Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl run.
Look here. Now, me and y'all been watching this. Me and Izzy don't always agree on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely agree on this because one, CJ Stroud I wanted to see this at Ohio State. He didn't show this side of him. We saw it like off the tail end of his career when like, all right, he showed it in that in that going to playoff game. He showed it. I'm like, everybody like like from in Ohio State, but where this dude been at? Where is this dude at during the game? Like, where was this guy at? Like, where was you at doing this? So I was like, I want to see this guy win a big one. You know what I mean? I want to see him do something special.
Yep.
And I feel like this. They talk about the sophomore slump. I hope we don't have one. But if you could do that.
I don't know, because like they were able to not only were they able to add all the pieces that I just lined out for you, but they were able to keep a very highly coveted offensive coordinator for their team that was being sought out by like, I don't know, 6-7 teams that was needing an offensive coordinator.
Yep. And I say this to say I'm not a fan of picking secondary teams. That ain't my thing. I don't really do. But I rock with CJ Stroud, and I want to see him win off the strength of there's not too many since I've been watching football quarterbacks come out of Ohio State that actually gets a chance to thrive, which leads me to my next concern. Justin Fields.
Oh yeah, well, let's talk about that. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they like I said.
Let's talk about that. No. Forget the Steelers right now. Chicago.
No, I was going to get to this.
No. We're gonna go straight to Chicago.
No. Wait. Let me build it up. Let me build, please.
Go ahead, because these guys about to come.
I know where you want to go, but let me build. So, like I started. Russell Wilson, the Sunday before free agency, says he's going to sign a 1-year vet minimum deal with the Steelers.
That he did.
And then, like 2-3 days later, Kenny Pickett gets dealt to your Philadelphia Eagles for a pick swap.
Yep.
And then the day after, no, not even the day after. It was like the day after the Bears trade for Keenan Allen from the LA Chargers. And then the day after that trade, Justin Fields gets traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, before you jump on your soapbox, there are reports that are popping up saying that supposedly there was like 4 other teams that were in play for Justin Fields, but Justin Fields declined each one of those teams and said he wanted to go to Pittsburgh. But with all that being said, the floor is yours. Choose your word.
This will be Justin Fields' 3rd year, right? He's going to his 3rd, right?
No, I think this is his 4th. Hold on, let me
3rd or 4th year. Was coming off, because these seasons been going by so fast. I get lost in some world people.
Hold up. I got you right now. This will be his 4th year. He was drafted in 2021.
So 1st year, okay, rookie year, cool. He didn't have nothing there. People want him going after his rookie year. Then his 2nd year, they got him DJ Moore. Then the 3rd year,
his third year is when they got him DJ Moore.
And so it's like, get your, again, Band-Aid on the gunshot. Caleb Williams not going to be the savior of this team. I'm sorry. Caleb Williams not going to save the Bears. The same problem you had with Justin Fields, you're going to have with this guy here. Now, Justin Fields, you're in Chicago, you're in Pittsburgh now. I want to see him ball out. Russell Wilson got a 1-year vet deal. The reins come off. You know, whatever happens, whatever. Justin Fields takes over. Cool. He gets to sit behind a vet and learn. Do I think he got thrown to the wolves too soon? Probably. If he would have had a solid vet to study behind, he probably wouldn't be in this situation. But Chicago is Chicago. Caleb Williams gonna Caleb Williams no matter who. Like, it's Chicago. You know what I mean? But I say this. I feel bad for the kid because, like, dog, you didn't have a chance. They wasn't gonna get. I felt like, yo, get this kid. I could see now one of those teams that they was looking at was the Eagles. Nobody in Philly wanted Justin Fields. I'm sorry. I love Justin Fields. I don't even want him in Philly. Kenny Pickett won more games as a starter than Justin Fields. So I feel safer with Kenny Pickett than I do with Justin Fields. Way more safer. Way safer. So, and then Kenny he grew up in Philadelphia. Hey, whatever. He's an Eagles fan. Cool. Whatever. It's cool in my book. I just like when I see teams that don't develop. I hear this word been going around called developing your quarterback.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't get developed. So now if he goes to Pittsburgh and develop, it becomes this great quarterback. It's going to look like this is going to show you. And then again, Caleb Williams going to show you, oh, man, this like, man, like the same problem, like your same problem y'all had with Justin. What's going to happen? Every 4 years, well, now Caleb Williams not the guy. Send him out. Give us Aaron Nolan from give us that guy. Or no, what's my man name from the backup? Not Noah Brown. No, Nolan. Forget to do our backup from Ohio. Devin Brown. We're gonna get him now. He's better than you can't keep swapping out. You gotta fix the problem that you already have.
Yeah.
Like, who gonna develop this kid? Like RG3 said he should pull Eli Manning and sit out, blah, blah, blah. That ain't gonna work. Nah. That ain't gonna work. It's a great idea in theory, but these kids, you gotta develop these kids, gotta sit back behind a vet. As much as it sucks, like there's not anomalies like Brock Purdy. He's an anomaly. He
was Mr. Irrelevant, and he was just like he was Mr. Irrelevant. He sat behind Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. And let's not forget how Brock Purdy even got to this point.
Third stringer.
Bro, he was the third guy on the list. Trey Lance got hurt. Garoppolo takes over, gets the team to a good point, gets hurt. Purdy comes in, and then just all of a sudden takes off. And then you see him be the starter that everybody had this question. Like, okay, he had this phenomenal run going into the NFC Championship game, but can he do it again as a full season starter? And he damn near led every statistical category in the NFL passing wise. So yeah, we can go ahead and say that he is a true he's a true starter in the NFL.
But see, the person he was sitting behind, like, I mean, yeah, you a third string. You're not even supposed to be in this position. You know what has to happen for the third string to go in? Do you know what has to happen for your third string to come in the game?
Bro, it was like the wildest of scenarios that played out for San Francisco for all of this to fall into place. That's literally what had to happen.
That's kind of like saying, I know he's still on the roster. That's like Dak gets injured. That's like Dak saying, you know what, y'all ain't paying me. I'm sitting there. I don't want to play. Then you put in Cooper Rush. Somehow Cooper Rush gets injured. Now Trey Lance is a starter for Dallas.
And he starts cooking.
It starts cooking. It's like, you know, the chain of events that had to happen for Brock Purdy to get to where he's at.
Right.
So I'm like, for Caleb Williams, not saying he's a bad guy or whatnot. Okay, he's a Heisman winner, but he played for USC, never got to a national. He never, I mean, no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, the kid is good, but like, is he NFL good? Like, it's like I in our group chat, I'm like, yo, why it seemed like guys that are beasts in college, when they go to the NFL, they look like chicks with a head cut off. And I broke job, like, because in college, you just playing everybody. You just like, you playing the bare minimum guys. You're playing the elite. You're playing the cream of the crop guys. You're playing the best of the best. Only
Right.
the best gets to the NFL. And it's easy to say, oh, let's use basketball for that bench warmer right there, that third string guy on the bench, he sucks. But play him at the rec. Play him at 24-hour fitness and see how he'll dog walk your ass. These people that you think ain't good, he trash. Play him one-on-one.
Bro,
Play him for real.
let's go ahead and put it like this. I think it's the 2021 draft class or 22 draft class with Matt Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and a few other guys. Out of every person from that draft, quarterback wise, only one person is still with the team that drafted them, and that person is Trevor Lawrence. Everybody else is either been traded or is not even playing. And it just goes to show you how hard it is to come from college and play in the NFL. And again, like, development is a key component. It really is a key component, because a lot of these guys that are coming into the league from college, some of these guys have never played in the type of style of ball that the NFL has. Like, there are a multitude of college programs out there, but only, I don't know, but like maybe a select few from big name colleges, they have that pro style type of ball to help guys get familiar with the cadence, the tempo, and all these things. Now, granted, they're still playing their style, but they're getting familiar to that.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys coming into the league, like Baker Mayfield, for example, or Justin Fields, like, these were guys that were supposed to be sitting behind a vet and then starting.
But see,
what happens is,
quick, because I just got to piggyback. Now there's no vets. Everybody our vets are gone. Brady's gone. Breeze is gone. Phillips gone. Rodgers gone.
Oh, Rodgers still playing. He's just like,
I mean, they say he's about to be vice president. Who knows?
Which is weird. I don't know.
And like, all our guys that we grew up on are gone. So now, what you gonna do? Sit behind Patrick Mahomes? He's not going nowhere. I mean, Jalen ain't going nowhere. Trevor's not going nowhere.
Or if we do have a vet, they're now backing up the young guys.
Yeah, it's like you could be in their ear telling them like it's not the same anymore. And it's kind of like saying it ain't the same no more. So you really ain't got nobody in the ear anymore. So you ain't really got that. I'm gonna sit behind this guy and learn all this. It ain't the same no more. So it's like,
you can learn, through practice. You can learn, watching the film and like behind the scenes. But when game day come around, when you're the one that's behind the line, when you're the one behind center and your backup is your vet, pretty much giving you the tips and whatever, like trying to guide you along the way as you're getting like you're going through the ropes or whatever, it's different.
Yeah, because it's different between I'm a quarterback, and Izzy's my vet. I'm studying, I'm watching. Okay, like this how he breaks. Okay, then he rolls out to the right.
Mm-hmm.
To the, okay, this what he do. Then when we sit back watching film, he breaks down. Okay, June, this what I did wrong. See, this you need to do this. I'm studying, but now in real time, vice versa. Like now he like, he watching like, here this idiot goes. Here this. Why is he doing this? Like he's looking like now it's you see what I'm saying? It's not the same.
Yeah.
But now you gotta go in the room. It's like, oh, that's how I did wrong. That's how I did. Opposed to flipping it, like, okay, that's what he did. Then he breaks down on why he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, this is why you shouldn't do this. Now you're learning. Now you do that for 3-4 years. I know what I need to do now. I got this. Let me take over now.
And also, like, I know like you weren't a fan of this move when the Steelers traded for Justin Fields, and like they got him for a bag of chips that ain't even gonna make it till like next year, bro. They traded him for a conditional 6 that turns into a 4th for next year's draft, and they're paying Russell Wilson 1.2 mil this season, which is the vet minimum because he's getting paid 38 mil off of the other deal from Denver. So literally, they got Justin for cheap. They got him for free. The thing is, though, like with Justin Fields, he has this opportunity now. Now, look, I know the reports are saying that Mike Tomlin told him directly that he's not the starter, that Russell Wilson is going to be the starter, and he's going to be sitting behind him. But I expect there to be some sort of competition in training camp or whatnot. I expect them to like at least have some sort of thing to make it official and whatever. So we'll see how that shakes out. In my eyes, this is the perfect thing for Justin Fields. This is perfect because the one thing we're talking about right now is development, and he didn't have that. I go back to Baker Mayfield. Baker was supposed to be sitting behind Tyrod Taylor when he was in Cleveland. Tyrod Taylor, week 3, has a concussion. He's out. And also Justin Herbert, Tyrod Taylor, same situation. He was supposed to sit behind Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor was out due to a medic stabbing him in the chest with a needle and hitting his lung by accident, which is a wild story of itself. And then Justin Herbert got thrown into the mix, and he became the guy.
But see, here's the thing about, I can say it's about Baker Mayfield. I know I bust him up a lot, but I can say Baker Mayfield is an anomaly. He's another one of those guys that just an anomaly. Like he can do anything he wants. Like he can walk off to Oklahoma, get the damn job, then go drafted first round, sit behind the guy for 3 weeks, get the job, and just does like I'm like, yo, this guy is.
And then not only that with Baker, and not only that, and I know we're talking about Justin, but like let's just look at the Baker. Let's look at Baker real quick. He goes to Cleveland, number 1, sits behind Tyrod Taylor 3 weeks, and then because of the concussion, he comes in and leads a comeback, come from behind victory to give Cleveland their first win in 600 days, right? And then leads them to their first playoff a couple of years later, first playoff win, and then unceremoniously, we all know the deal. He goes to Tampa on a 1-year prove-it deal. And this is a team where everybody looks at them and they're like, oh, they're going to be bottom 5. They're going to be in the Caleb Williams hunt. And next thing you know, he leads them to back-to-back division titles, and does a playoff and has one of the craziest playoff runs where he throws for damn near 700 yards and has a 10-2 touchdown, like a 7-2 touchdown ratio, one of the best completion percentages, and now he has a very team-friendly but very, very solid deal for him. Like what Baker was able to do is impressive. Justin Herbert finally has a head coach. We'll see what he does because they don't got Keenan Allen no more. I think Mike Williams is on another team, or he's going to be going on another team because they just released that guy as well. So we're going to see what they do with the wide receiver room as a whole. But Justin Fields, he was supposed to be developed. He was supposed to have that route. Got thrown in week 3, literally to the Wolves, and has tried to make it work over there. Just the situation wasn't great. The team didn't do anything. The organization didn't do anything to make the situation better. And when they started adding pieces to make it better, it was too little too late because management was already looking at Justin Fields like, we don't think he's the guy anymore. And then not only do you get a number 1 overall pick, right? And you trade it to Carolina, and Carolina uses that, and they trade off their first rounder to Chicago for this year's draft. And guess what? Carolina ends up being one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they get the number 1 pick again. So now Chicago's in the boat where they're like, look, we could have had CJ Stroud, but we passed on him because we were going to give Justin Fields one more chance. Now we got this number 1 pick. And like, do we keep him or do we trade him? Or do we trade the number 1 pick? What do we do? And they trade Justin Fields. Yep. And now they're gonna go after Bryce Young and whatnot. And my thing is this. Again, like it's a situation that's just messy overall. Chicago didn't do Justin Fields right. And granted, I know a lot of people were throwing out, oh, well, he's 25th in this statistic. He's 32nd here. Like, he didn't do this. His win-loss record is this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Look, you can only make lemonade out of lemons for so long.
And
To the point where, like, after a while, the lemonade gets sour.
I'm gonna make another. I want to say that too. Okay, for the sake of argument, then we're gonna switch gears. For the sake of argument, you get Caleb Williams, right? In backdoor, somehow, some way, backdoor, and get Marvin Harrison. You see what's
they got that number 1 overall pick, and they have another pick in the first round as well.
But here's the thing: you backdoor that with Marvin Harrison for the sake of argument. No matter what, it's still a bandit on a gunshot wound. No matter how loaded if you still have, I'm gonna use this. It's not even an analogy,
bro. Wait. I'm gonna go ahead and say this before you even move on. You're saying they backdoor the Caleb Williams pick if they pick him for Marvin Harrison. They got DJ Moore and they just got Keenan Allen. Are they really gonna go after Marvin Harrison?
For the sake of argument, just hear me out.
DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore.
I hear you, but just follow me on this one. You back for some reason they backdoor. They're like, yo, we need to load up some more. There's still holes that you need to fill. I went to the dentist one time and I'm getting my dental work done. The dentist like, you know what? A lot of people come in here, get that whitener on their teeth, get their teeth all pearly, and they still got stuff they need to get done on their teeth. They need filling, they need root canal, they need all these things done on their teeth. But you want to make your teeth look pretty, but your teeth are still messed up underneath.
Right.
So underneath, they still need dental work. With the Bears, like, you can make your team look pretty all you want. What you gonna do? Have Marvin Harris to pass stats, all these Keenan Allen and all these stats getting padded? Cool, but you still got. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I mean, hell, we don't even know for sure if they getting Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams has been a big nuisance in the news. He's been. Let's be real. He's been like, do you really want to draft somebody like him? Like, do you want him? Like, he wants this fool say he wants stock in the team. Like, you can't have that. Then he's being like a menace. Like, bro, do you really want to deal with that?
But here's the thing, though. I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think Chicago, the organization, they want to go after Caleb Williams? Or is it the media pushing the narrative that they're going to go after Caleb Williams? Because the media could say Chicago is going after Caleb Williams.
You know what? I know
Chicago is going after Caleb Williams, right?
You're going. I like where you're going.
What if Chicago's like, we'll let you believe it, but come draft, with the first pick in the NFL draft, the Chicago Bears select Jaden Daniels out of LSU or whoever, or they select J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan, or they select.
First of all, you said the name. That just sent chills on my spine right there. Like, I can't believe you said the name. But yo, that would be the most, because we've seen when we thought RP Simba, he was gonna go to New York, but they got Daniel Jones, and we saw, and I was the first one saying Justin Fields going to Atlanta. I'm like, I was on here last year. He going to Atlanta.
Here. I said the same thing too. I was like, yo, Justin Fields to Atlanta makes perfect sense.
We sat on this 4 years ago saying he going to Atlanta. We didn't even debate that. We're like, he goes to Atlanta.
And then what happened?
Chicago.
Huh?
Wait, who? Justin Fields with Chicago. Who we talking about?
No. That was my reaction when it happened.
Oh, yeah.
That was my reaction when it happened.
I told you, I think somebody called like, yo, did you? I'm like, did we just? You're like, yeah. This wasn't supposed to happen, bro. I mean, I'm like,
I was
like
like,
Junior,
I
like
was like,
I don't know what happened. This wasn't part. This wasn't supposed to happen.
this wasn't part of the plan.
This wasn't. And I look at it like I, but I feel like, then be like I said, we're gonna move on. This draft, the draft gonna tell us everything. I'd be surprised they don't get Caleb Williams. I'd be surprised if they don't, because then again, if they don't get Caleb Williams, where does he go? Like the JJ McCarthy's, the Caleb Williams, do
The Drake Mays,
the
the
Drake
J.
Mays, like do.
Penix Jr.
I mean, who knows? But we got more football coming up.
The UFL, the United Football League, starts next week.
Yes, it does.
And I mean, I'm gonna say this, bro. Like, I'm actually kind of excited. I'm actually kind of excited to see how this shakes out. Now, I am kind of sad that we are missing a couple of teams: Seattle Sea Dragons, the Vipers from Vegas.
They have the clean jersey. That red and black. That was very very nice. I like
It was
that.
very clean. I like Seattle. Seattle had a nice one too. But
See,
like,
I'm a fan of the orange and the greens on it. I mean,
I like the way that it was cooked. The way they cleaned up was nice though. But I'm gonna say this, man. I'm excited. You know, I think it's gonna be a fun league. Granted, it's only 8 teams. We got 10 weeks worth of football and whatnot. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to see. I expect it. I expect certain teams to show out. Like I expect St. Louis. I expect them to show out. DC. I expect them to go crazy with the beer snake. The Renegades. I expect them to show out versus the Stallions. Like there's a lot of familiar names popping up in the UFL. One guy in particular, Matt Corral, former pick of the Carolina Panthers. He's on the Birmingham Stallions. I want to see him. I want to see him have a revenge tour over there in the UFL.
and I'm like, I'm excited for this. Like, I hope they stick around because I heard the only reason they merged with because of the XFL was going through some stuff and they merged. And
I don't think so. The XFL was actually they were doing pretty good. Like they were
about the XFL wasn't doing too hot. That's why they merged.
I think it was the USFL because if you looked at the USFL's like attendance and whatnot, granted, like the XFL, they had solid attendance for each team because they have their own home stadium or whatever or whatnot. But with the UFL, they were sharing a stadium, so they didn't have their own general spot. But each team now has their own home. So I believe they'll be able to build a fan base in that area. That's why teams like Seattle, teams like Seattle, teams like St. Louis, teams like DC, they were able to build and like fill the stadiums that they were playing in. I think the Renegades, even though they play in like the old Arlington, the old Texas Rangers Park.
I like the fit. I like the setup, but it's kind of they gotta remodel that area where the people can sit, the hill part. Like I gotta that throws me off.
Like. It's the same situation out here it's the same thing out here in Atlanta where old Turner Park where the Braves used to play at. There's a college team. There's a college out here, Georgia State. They actually have their football games out there in the old Turner Park. So I get where you're coming from when it comes to like the seating arrangements or whatever. It's kind of hard to have the whole the configuration of the seating in a baseball stadium to be a football type of thing, but hopefully they figure it out. But you know what I'm saying though, like the teams in the XFL, they had their home stadiums, they had their base city. So it's like they had their home city, their home stadium. So it's like they were able to build up that fan base wherever they were at.
Oh yeah.
With the USFL, remember they were playing in like only select cities, so like not all these teams were able to like really build up their fan base per se. But now it's like they're able to actually build up their fan bases properly.
Right. And before we get up out of here, man, like I'm with this. I'm with all of it. Like I'm gonna try to go. Now that everything popping, I want to see probably go like week 4, week 5. You say how many weeks it is? 10 weeks.
So it's so it's like 43 games, so about like 10 weeks.
So I'm like, so I'm out. I probably try to see if I can sneak in a week 5 game, see how the team looking, and
So
go.
yeah, so like so just real quick. So you got Protective Stadium out in Birmingham, Alabama. You got Choctaw Stadium, which is out in Arlington, where the Renegades play. You got Rice Stadium, where Houston is going to be playing. Audi Field, which is DC. Liberty Stadium, which is in Memphis, which is the Showboats. The Alamo Dome, which is the Brahmas. Ford Field, the Michigan Panthers, and the Dome at America Center, where the St. Louis Battlehawks are going to play. So yeah, so each team has the ability to build a fan base now in their respective areas. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But we're going to go ahead and
Dip. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the show about another podcast. I'm your host, June, Westside Izzy Peasy.
Follow me on Westside Sports. You know what it is.
Do that. He been killing it on there too. He been doing the damn thing, man. Keep it up, brother. He got me doing the shorts. Now I'm doing good on the shorts too, man. We out here.
Yes,
and
sir.
like always, take care. Peace.